Hello everyone, welcome to the session. Good evening. I hope all of you are doing well. Let's wait for about 2 or 3 minutes and then we proceed with the session. All right, let's wait for 2 or 3 minutes, let everyone join in and then we proceed with the session. All right, let's wait for 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, let's wait for 2 more minutes. Let people join in. Okay, let's wait for 2 more minutes. All right, let's wait for another minute. Let people join in and then we start. Hi Umed, how are you? Nice to see you. Let's wait for a minute more. Let everyone join in and then we start, okay? All right, just 30 seconds more and then we start off. All right, welcome to Unacademy, India's largest online learning platform that provides to you a world of courses, resources, content, live and recorded sessions to help you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. And also, I'd like to welcome you to crack CA exams with us, which is the vertical and channel of Unacademy that caters to the students of CA Foundation and Intermediate in their journey and pursuit of preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations by providing top educators, quality content, and overall a great learning experience. So come, let's crack CA exams with Unacademy, India's largest online learning platform. Welcome to the session once again. Before we proceed, a brief introduction about the educator today. Hello, I'm Prathik Gupta. I'm a Bachelor of Commerce from Christ College, Bangalore University. I am an associate member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, an associate member of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, and an associate member of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India. I am also a law graduate from Karnataka State Law University. I am currently a practicing chartered accountant and a visiting faculty for CA subjects and an educator for CA students both offline and online. Prior to starting on my own, I worked with S.R. Bartley Boy and Associates, that is the Indian member firm of Ernst & Young Global in the Audit and Assurance Department. Post that, I worked with Ernst & Young India in the Mergers and Acquisitions Department. And then I went on to work with the Manipal Group in Bangalore as the corporate controller of their German subsidiary located in Frankfurt, Germany. And it was only after I got back from Frankfurt, Germany that I decided to start something on my own. And that gave me an opportunity to become an educator, which in turn has given me this opportunity today to take this session for you young, fine and bright CA aspirants. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and I hope you find my session useful. Anytime during my session, in case you have any questions, queries, observations or discussions to be made, please feel free to drop in a line and I will be more than happy to take up that matter for discussion or for problem solving as the case may be as soon as possible. Okay, I'd also like to draw your attention to my name, which is Prathik Gupta, Prathik Gupta. Okay, why I'm insisting on the H is because a lot of people miss it. And because my name is misspelled, they are unable to find me on the YouTube channel of Unacademy as well as the Unacademy Learning App in the form of special classes. Okay, so it's Prathik Gupta, and using the spelling, you can look me up on the YouTube channel of Unacademy to find the hundreds of hours of sessions that I've taken there for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. And also using this name, you can find me on the Unacademy Learning App to find all my hundreds of hours of special classes that I have conducted on the Unacademy Learning App. So please go out there, make use of it, make use of all the sessions. And after going through them, if you have any questions or queries, you can always come back to me. Okay, then like I told you, Unacademy caters to you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examination through 3 platforms, that is your YouTube, special class and the Plus platform. Now YouTube and special classes are absolutely free of cost. Okay, they don't cost you anything at all, but they provide you an immense amount of value and resources to help you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examination in terms of free sessions and special classes and everything. YouTube is what you're going through right now. Okay, you just need to go to YouTube, type in Prathik Gupta, Prathik, and you will see the hundreds of hours of sessions that I've taken on the YouTube channel of Unacademy to help you in your preparation. Special classes are conducted on the Unacademy Learning App, and they too are absolutely free of cost, but again they provide you immense value to help you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. Now let's talk about the Plus course. The Plus platform of Unacademy is the premium platform of Unacademy that is a payment-based subscription model and which has various subscription packages for the examinations, more about which I will tell you in the following slides. In this slide, I will tell you why I strongly recommend and encourage you to become part of the Plus platform of Unacademy as soon as possible. The first reason why I encourage and recommend you to become part of the Plus platform of Unacademy as soon as possible is because of the daily live classes it conducts, where you get to chat with your educator, engage in discussions, ask your doubts and answer polls, all this while the class is going on. Yes, you heard it right, all this while the class is going on. You do not need to wait for the end of the class, you do not need to wait a couple of hours after the class, you do not need to wait for a couple of days after the class, neither do you need to wait for the weekend after the class or to wait to fix up an appointment with your educator. You can clear your doubts and have discussions with your educator on a real-time basis as the class is going on. And your educator will be more than happy to answer your doubts and have discussions with you. It is as good as you lifting your hand up in a live classroom and your educator will take up your questions and matters for discussion and address your queries as soon as possible. The second reason why I recommend and encourage you to become part of the Plus platform of Unacademy as soon as possible is because of the live tests and quizzes it conducts on a periodic and regular basis to evaluate your preparation. Okay, and also the various mock tests and get a detailed analysis of your performance. Now you might wonder, why is this evaluation of your preparation and detailed analysis of your performance necessary? So let me tell you that whenever you're preparing for a professional examination, it is very important for you to take a stock of your preparation from time to time to make sure what is your level of preparation, as to which areas you're well prepared, which areas you may require extra preparation, and which areas you may require external help as you're unable to prepare for it on your own. So basically the Plus platform of Unacademy helps to break down your preparation into three areas, that is your strong areas, your not so strong areas, and your weak areas, so that whatever limited time you have for your preparation, you can use that time accordingly on those three areas until a time when your weak areas and your not so strong areas eventually become your strong areas. Thereby, the Plus platform of Unacademy ensures minimum wastage of your precious time and maximum utilization of your limited preparation time. The third reason why I recommend and encourage you to become part of the Plus platform of Unacademy is because of the structured courses. Because all the courses are structured in line with your exam syllabus to help you best prepare for it, which simply means all the courses, Plus courses on the Plus platform of Unacademy are prepared keeping in mind your exam syllabus, so that once you complete a course on the Plus platform, you can rest assured that you have completed the exam syllabus without missing out on any important or major point. And lastly and most importantly, why I recommend and encourage you to become part of the Plus platform of Unacademy, it's because of its feature of unlimited access. The one subscription gets you access to all the live and recorded courses to watch from the comfort of your devices, which simply means the one subscription to the Plus platform of Unacademy gives you access to all the live and recorded courses, that is your live and recorded special classes, live and recorded Plus courses that Unacademy has to offer to you, and you can watch them from the comfort of any of your devices, which simply means you can watch them from your mobile phone, tablet, laptop or desktop as the case may be without any restrictions. Moreover, you can also view these courses live and recorded 24/7 without any timing restrictions like 10 to 5, 10 to 6, 10 to 7. Now, there are no restrictions whatsoever. These are available to you and accessible to you 24/7. So whenever you want to study, you can just pull out your mobile phone, log into the Unacademy Learning App and start your preparations without any restrictions. And one more feature is you can access these courses, live and recorded courses, from whichever location you want, whether you're at home, whether you're in college, whether you're in office, whether you're traveling from home to college or work, or you're traveling from college or work to home, or you're waiting for someone for a meeting, or you're at your native place, or you're simply on a vacation and you want to study, you can just pull out your mobile phones, log into the Unacademy Learning App and start your preparation. You do not need to wait for anything. All you require is a good internet connection and a data plan, which all of us are blessed with today. So keeping all these points in mind among the others, I strongly recommend and encourage you to become part of the Plus platform of Unacademy as soon as possible in order to accelerate and enhance your preparation for the CA Foundation and intermediate examinations. All right, please take about 30 seconds, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions whatsoever, please ask me. Okay, now in my previous slide you heard me say this a lot, live and recorded Plus courses, live and recorded special classes. So where do you think you can access these live and recorded Plus courses and live and recorded special classes? You can access them on an app known as the Unacademy Learning App. Okay, so all of you that have downloaded the Unacademy Learning App and are using it, I thank you very much, and I request your support in the future as well. And for those of you who have not yet downloaded the Unacademy Learning App, I request you to go to the Play Store on your mobile phone, log into download the Unacademy Learning App, install it on your phones, put in your mobile number where you will get an OTP, and using that OTP you can register on the Unacademy Learning App. The process is as simple as this with no lengthy or complicated procedures. Alright, now you might ask me, okay, I have downloaded the Unacademy Learning App, I have installed it on my phone, I have registered on it using my mobile number, so what's next? So let me tell you that the Unacademy Learning App gives you access to all the live and recorded special classes that Unacademy has to offer to you in order to help you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examination. And it gives you access to all the live and recorded plus courses that Unacademy has to offer to you in order to accelerate and enhance your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. Alright, so keeping all these features in mind, I request you to download the Unacademy Learning App as soon as possible. Install it on your phones, register on it using your mobile number and OTP, and start making use of all the resources that it has to offer to you to help you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examination. Another request I'd like to make is to help spread the word around. That means help the people around you get to know about the Unacademy Learning App. Help them download and register install the Unacademy Learning App on their phones. Help them register on it using their mobile numbers and OTP. Okay, so that they too can make use of the various innumerable resources that Unacademy has to offer to you, and then in order to help them prepare for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. All right, please take about 30 seconds, go through this. During the process, if you have any questions, you can always chat with us and we will give you the appropriate solution as soon as possible. Please take about 30 seconds, go through this. Any questions, please ask. Any questions? Take about 30 seconds more and then we continue. Okay, now let's come to the important slide. Like I told you, the Plus platform of Unacademy is the premium platform of Unacademy, which is a payment-based subscription model which has various subscription packages for the various examinations. So accordingly, the CA Foundation and Intermediate subscription packages provided by the Plus platform of Unacademy are as follows. The packages provided are for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months and 24 months. The 1 month package costs you rupees 3,500. The 3 months package costs you rupees 8,750. The 6 months package costs you rupees 14,000. The 12 months package costs you rupees 17,500. And the 24 months package costs you rupees 21,000. Now please remember, all these are the listed price. So before you make the payment for the package of your choice, please do not forget to use the code Prathik, P-R-A-T-H-I-K, to get an instant discount of 10% on the above listed price. I repeat, please do not forget to use the code Prathik, P-R-A-T-H-I-K, to get an instant discount of 10% on the above listed price. So the after discount price of the various packages are as follows. The 1 month package will cost you rupees 3,150. The 3 month package will cost you rupees 7,875. The 6 months package will cost you rupees 12,600. The 12 months package will cost you rupees 15,750, and the 24 months package will cost you rupees 18,900. So you see, you get an immediate discount or savings of 10% when you use my code Prathik, P-R-A-T-H-I-K. Now I personally recommend you to start off with the 12 months package or the 24 months package due to the following two reasons. Firstly, it is cost effective. If you compare the cost of the 1 month package and compare it with the per month cost of the 12 months and 24 months package, you will see that you're getting great cost savings almost immediately. And secondly, and most importantly, since the CA Foundation and Intermediate courses are provided to you in one package, that is your 12 months or 24 months package, a 12 month or a 24 months package will be highly beneficial to you and value added to you because it covers the duration of both these courses, that is your CA Foundation and Intermediate examination, and normally it takes about a minimum of 12 months for you to prepare and clear the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. So if you're getting a package that is 12 months or 24 months that covers the entire duration of your CA Foundation and the CA Intermediate examinations at a very cost-effective price, then I think that is a very good deal. But having said this, you're free to choose the package of your choice. But before you make the payment, please do not forget to use the code Prathik to get an instant discount of 10% on the above listed price. Alright, now you can also make use of the no-cost EMI option available on the 6 months, 12 months and 24 months subscription packages, just in case you do not wish to make the entire payment at one shot. The payment options available to you are internet banking, debit card and credit card, and also all the coins that you've accumulated by watching the special classes can be redeemed while making your Plus subscription payment. Alright, so keeping all these packages, these offers in mind, and the various advantages I told you a couple of slides earlier in mind, I strongly recommend and encourage you to become part of the Plus platform of Unacademy as soon as possible in order to accelerate and enhance your preparation for the CA Foundation and intermediate examinations. Alright, please take about a minute, go through the slide. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask. Any questions whatsoever, please ask me. Take about a minute. Go through the packages, go through the prices. Any questions, please ask. Yes, okay, if you have no questions, let's proceed. So, like I told you, the Unacademy Learning App gives you access to all the live and recorded special classes. Here are the snapshots of few of the many special classes that I have conducted on the Unacademy Learning App and which you may find useful in your preparation for the CA Foundation and intermediate examinations. There are special classes on revision test paper, Sale of Goods Act, Indian Contracts Act, the Companies Act, Fundamentals of Accounting, Retirement of Partner, Admission of Partner, Death of Partner, Valuation of Inventories, Revision on Final Accounts of Non-Manufacturing Entities, Revision on Sale of Goods on Approval or Return Basis, and hundreds of other special classes that are there on the Unacademy Learning App. So I request you to log into the Unacademy Learning App. Go to my profile, that is Prathik Gupta, Prathikgupta, and go through all the special classes that I've conducted for the CA Foundation and Intermediate Examination. I have taken plus courses on the Unacademy platform as well for your benefit. So please go there and make use of it to help you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. All right, please take about 30 seconds, go through this and then we proceed. Any questions, please ask. Any questions, please ask me. All right, let's proceed. All right, so now here are the links to few of the many special classes that I have conducted on the Unacademy Learning App, which again you can make use of in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate Examination. You can either click on these links or copy and paste these links in your browser to take you directly to the special class on the Unacademy Learning App. There are special classes on the Indian Contracts Act, the Sale of Goods Act, the Indian Partnership Act, the Limited Liability Partnership Act, the Companies Act 2013, Basics of Communication, Accounting Concepts and Revision Test Papers, among many other sessions that are available on the Unacademy Learning App in the form of special classes taken by me. So once again, I request you to log into the Unacademy Learning App, go to my profile, Prathik Gupta, Prathik, and start making use of all the innumerable amount of sessions that I've taken for your benefit, for the benefit of CA Foundation and intermediate students. All right, please take 30 seconds, go through the slide, and then we proceed. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask me. questions, please ask. Any questions? Okay, now let's start off today's session. That is, let's have a discussion on doctrine of ultra wires. Okay, now this is a very important concept, and this doctrine comes under the Companies Act 2013. This is a very important concept, and you need to know it's part of your syllabus, and you get a lot of case law kind of questions on this. Okay, so it's a doctrine of ultra wires under business law syllabus under Companies Act 2013. We're going to have the various discussions on this, so hang on, and I hope you find the session useful. All right, let's start off. Before we start off with what do you mean by ultra wires, we need to understand what two documents mean. That is, one is a Memorandum of Association and Articles of Association. Okay, so before I get into this, please remember the Memorandum of Association and the Articles of Association are the two most important documents of a company, and they are known as the preamble to the company. So the Memorandum of Association defines the relationship of the company with the people external to it. Okay, for example, your customers, your vendors, your employees, your government, banks and other things all have to deal with the Memorandum of Association, and it also gives out, spells out the important objects and activities that a company is allowed to perform. All right, but whereas the Articles of Association deals with the internal management and internal procedures of the company, the various procedures like holding a meeting, transfer of shares, transmission of shares, the appointment of directors, appointment of auditors, and other things. So that is internal to the organization. So every formality that is internal to the organization is contained in the Articles of Association, and every provision that relates to the external environment to the company is contained in a Memorandum of Association. So before we go into actual ultra wires definition, we need to know what Memorandum of Association and Articles of Association is. Okay, so listen carefully. Anytime if you have any questions, you can ask me. The Memorandum of Association of a company is in fact its charter. It defines its constitution and the scope of the powers of the company with which it has been established under the Act. It is the very foundation on which the whole edifice of the company is built. Okay, so basically it defines the constitution and scope of the powers of the company. The scope of the powers means the activities that the company is allowed to perform. That is referred to as scope of the powers of the company with which it has been established under the Act. It is the very foundation on which the whole edifice, means the whole existence of the company, is built. If the memorandum and articles were not there, then the company would be clueless, absolutely clueless as to what's happening, and there would be no guiding factor that could guide the company. All right. So, what is the object of registering a memorandum of association? So, let's now look at the purpose as to why do people even register a memorandum of association. Firstly, it contains the object for which the company is formed and therefore identifies the possible scope of its operations beyond which its actions cannot go. So please remember, we will discuss this in detail as well, but the first thing is it gives the activities, the business activities that the company is allowed to perform. So let's say a company is ABC Travel and Tourism Private Limited. So like the name says, the company is allowed to do travel, tourism and travel related activities, adventure related activities and all that, right? So let's say suddenly the company gets into manufacturing furniture or selling of computers. So if that activity is not mentioned in the memorandum of association of that company, then that becomes an activity that is beyond the scope or powers of the company, and the company is not allowed to do that. So for a company to carry out any legal business activity, it should be mentioned in the object clause of the memorandum of association, and only then can they carry out that activity. So it contains the object for which the company is formed. So travel tourism company is formed for the purpose of carrying on the business of travel and tourism, right? And therefore identifies the possible scope of its operations beyond which its actions cannot go. So if a travel tourism company, So if a travel and tourism company is formed and its memorandum talks about travel and tourism activities, then the company cannot carry out any other activities beyond travel and tourism. In case it does, that will be ultra vires the memorandum, or ultra vires the powers of the company. Got it? Any questions? Any questions? Please ask. Okay, then that is the first part. Second one, it enables shareholders, creditors, and all those who deal with the company to know what its powers are and what the activities it can engage in. A memorandum is a public document. This is an important slide. This is an important section. I will talk to you about this. Section 399. A memorandum is a public document as per Section 399 of the Companies Act 2013. Consequently, every person entering into a contract with a company is presumed to have knowledge of the conditions contained therein. So every person entering into a contract with the company, now who are those? It could be your vendors, it could be your customers, it could be banks and banking financial institutions, it could be government authorities. Okay, so these are a few of the external parties that enter into contracts with the company. So before they enter into contracts with the company, they need to get hold of the Memorandum of Association and the Articles of Association of the company and see what are the activities that the company is authorized or permitted to do and what are the activities they are not allowed to do. And in case the company is trying to carry out any activity which is not allowed by the Memorandum of Association, then those people can back out and say, no, you're not allowed to do this activity, so I'm not carrying on this transaction with you. And also please remember, Section 399 of the Companies Act makes the Memorandum and Articles of Association a public document. That means anyone can go to the company and ask for the copy of Memorandum and Articles. And in case the company refuses, they can directly go to the ROC, Registrar of Companies of the respective place where the company is registered, pay a nominal fee of 50-100 rupees and get a copy of the Memorandum and Articles and protect their interest. Okay, so it's a public document. Now this public document, Section 399, there is another doctrine which I will take further. Okay, so this Section 399 talks about doctrine of constructive notice. That means every person dealing with a company is assumed to have gone through the Memorandum and Articles of the company, and later on they can't say, no, I didn't get a copy, or I did not go through the Memorandum and Articles, so I don't know. As per Section 399, that's a public document, so any person dealing with the company is assumed to have gone through the Memorandum of Association and the Articles of Association and cannot claim protection that he has not gone through it because he was supposed to have gone through it. Okay, that is a different topic. Doctrine of constructive notice I will talk about in a different session on YouTube. Okay, all right, Shali. Then the next point, the shareholders must know the purpose for which their money can be used by the company and what risks he is taking in making the investment. Now obviously shareholders are the people who put money into the company, right? So they also want to know where their money is going. If their money is being spent lavishly or lost or put in risky businesses, they will not put their money, right? Because being an equity shareholder is risky enough, and if they do not know where their money is going, then no one will invest in a company. So the Memorandum of Association gives out the activities which a company is allowed to perform, and through this the shareholders always get an idea that okay, my money is going into these activities. So if it's something that is mentioned in the memorandum, they are okay with it and they have no problem with it any further. All right, please take about 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Please take about 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask. Please take 2 minutes, go through this and let me know once you're done, please. Read it carefully. I want you to understand the concept. Let me know once you're done, please, all of you. Are we done? Okay, take about a minute more. Are we done? Let me know once you're done. Take about 30 seconds more and then we continue. Okay, are we done? Okay, now the memorandum of the company shall be drawn up in such form as is given in tables A, B, C, D, E in Schedule 1 of the Companies Act. So basically, the Schedule 1 of the Companies Act 2013 contains certain model memorandum of associations that should be used as far as possible by all the companies, because it contains most of the important clauses that mandatorily required to be there in the memorandum of association of a company. So let's say a table A is a form of memorandum of association by a company limited by shares. Table B is a form of memorandum of association of a company limited by guarantee and not having a share capital. A table C is a form of memorandum of association of a company limited by guarantee and having a share capital. Table D is a form of memorandum of association of an unlimited company. And table E is the form of memorandum of association of an unlimited company and having share capital. So if a company fits into any of these brackets, then they can pick up those model memorandum of associations, and as far as possible they can use it when they are preparing their own memorandum of association, making some minor changes. It does not need to be used verbatim, but it is a guideline that okay, these are the mandatory elements that need to be there, and using the model table A, B, C, D, E, they can make their memorandum of association as concrete and foolproof as possible. The memorandum and articles of a company must be as close to model forms as possible. Model form is A, B, C, D, E as possible depending upon the circumstances. So depending on whatever type of company you are, your memorandum of association should be as close as possible to the model memorandum of association contained in table A, B, C, D, E of Schedule 1 of the Companies Act 2013. Alright, please take 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask me. Take about a minute more. Okay, are we done? Okay, now let's look at the content quickly. Content of the Memorandum of Association. There are 6 clauses in the Memorandum of Association: the name clause, the domicile clause, the object clause, the subscription clause, the liability clause, and the capital clause. Okay, so let's look at all of them individually. But let me tell you that the most important clause is the object clause of the Memorandum of Association, that gives you the details of the various activities and objects that a company can carry out. If activity is not mentioned in the object clause, the company cannot carry out that activity. Okay, so we will talk about that. The first one is the name clause. The name of the company, name clause, and the last word limited in the case of a public limited company, or the last words private limited in case of a private limited company. So let's say the name of the company is ABC Private Limited. The name clause will say that the name of the company is ABC Private Limited. This clause is not applicable on the companies formed under Section 8, because Section 8 companies are normally charitable companies, or companies that are started to carry on charitable activities. Okay, so for them they don't need to use private limited or public limited at the end of the name. They are exempted. The name including phrase electoral trust may be allowed for registration of companies to be formed under Section 8 of the Act in accordance with the Electoral Trust Scheme 2013 notified by the Central Board of Direct Taxes, CBDT. Okay. Hi Among Us. Hi, how are you? What's your name? Among Us. That's an interesting name. What's your name? Okay. Including the word foundation, forum, association, federation, chambers, confederation, council, electoral trust, and the like. The Companies and Corporations Rule 2014. As per MCA notification dated 5th June 2015, a government company's name must end with the word limited. In the case of one-person company, the words one-person company would be included below its name. Okay. So as per the Companies Act, or as per MCA, a government company, that is in which 50% or more of the share capital is held by the state government or central government, or state and central government together, is known as a government company. So the name of a government company must end with the limited, because it cannot be a private limited, it has to be a limited company, public limited. In case of a one-person company, the name has to end with OPC, or one-person company should be included below its name. So here are just a few rules relating to names. Okay, the second one is the domicile clause or the state clause, the state in which the registered office of the company is situated. So let's say if a company is situated in Bangalore, the domicile clause will say the registered office of the company is situated in the state of Karnataka. Alright, please take 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask. Any questions, please ask. Please take 2 minutes. Okay, let me know once you're done. Okay, take about a minute more and then we proceed. Okay, the third one, the most important one, is the object clause. The object for which the company is proposed to be incorporated and any matter considered necessary in furtherance thereof. The object clause. So basically the main activities or the objects that the company wants to perform, and what are the activities that are auxiliary or incidental for the attainment of those objectives will be mentioned here. If any company has changed its activities which are not reflected in its name, it shall change its name in line with the activities within a period of 6 months from the change of activities after I'm complying. Okay, so basically this was a concept that was introduced in Companies Act 2013, that the name of the company should reflect the activities that the company wants to perform. Alright, so for example, if there is a company in travel tourism, it should be A, B and C, ABC Leisures Private Limited, ABC Travel Tourism Private Limited. But it cannot be something like ABC Enterprises Private Limited, because enterprises is a general term. So what is the whole objective for which it is being made? And the name should reflect the main objectives of the company. All right. And in case there is not the name does not do that, then the name of the company has to be changed within 6 months from the change of activities after complying with all the provisions as applicable in the change of name. Earlier in the Companies Act 1956, the company could give a name and it could give any activities that it wanted or it proposed or it thought about doing in the next 5 to 10 years in its Memorandum of Association. But later on, this particular thing was removed or changed in the Companies Act 2013. Now, the name should reflect the main activities or objects of the company which plans to perform. Fourth, the liability of the members, liability clause. So the liability of members of the company, liability clause, whether implied or unlimited, and also state, in case of a company limited by shares, then the liability of its members is limited to the amount unpaid, if any, on the shares held by them. In case of a company limited by guarantee, then the amount up to which each member undertakes to contribute. And third, to the assets of the company in event of its being wound up while he is a member or within 1 year after he ceases to be a member, for payment of debts or liabilities of the company, or as such debts and liabilities as may have been contracted before he ceases to be a member, as the case may be, and to the costs, charges and expenses of winding up and for adjustment of the rights of the contributories among themselves. So whatever is the nature of liability of the company, whether it's a company limited by shares, limited by guarantee, or an unlimited company, that fact should be mentioned in the liability clause. Please take a minute, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions? Any questions, please ask. Let me know once you're done. Are we done? Okay, let's proceed. Then the fifth clause is the capital clause. The amount of authorized capital clause divided into share of fixed amounts and the number of shares with the subscribers to the memorandum have agreed to take, indicated opposite their names, which shall not be less than 1 share. A company not having a share capital need not have this clause. So basically, whatever. Hi Om, how are you? Good evening. Nice to see you. Hi Om. All right. So basically, whatever is the authorized capital of the company, let's say the authorized capital of the company is 10 lakh equity shares of broken up 10 lakh equity shares of 10 rupees each, that is 1 crore. That should be mentioned here. It is to be noted that a company being a legal person cannot through its agent subscribe to the memorandum. However, a minor cannot be a signatory to the memorandum as he is not competent to contract. The guardian. One second. Okay, the guardian of a minor who subscribed to the memorandum on his behalf will be deemed to have subscribed in his personal capacity. So this just says a minor cannot be a subscriber to the memorandum simply because they are incompetent to contract. And because they are incompetent to contract, they cannot subscribe to the memorandum and they shall be represented by their guardian. All right, please take a minute, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Okay, go through this. Any questions? Please ask. Hi Om, how are you? Nice to see you. All right, take about a minute, go through this. Any questions? Please ask. All right, are we done? Okay, let's proceed. And then, okay, so now we've discussed about the Memorandum of Association, and there was one more clause known as the subscription clause, where all the subscribers to the memorandum agree to take up this number of shares against their name and also pay the amount to the company. Okay, so quickly let's go through Articles of Association and then we will go on to the doctrine of ultra vires. Okay, the Articles of Association of a company are its rules and regulations which are framed to manage its internal affairs. So like I told you, the Articles of Association of a company regulate the internal affairs of the company, just as the memorandum contains the fundamental conditions upon which the company is allowed to be incorporated. So also the articles are the internal regulations of the company. The leading case law is Guinness versus Land Corporation of Ireland. These general functions of the articles have been aptly summed up by Lord Keynes in Ashbury Carriage Co. versus Riches as follows. The articles play a part subsidiary to the Memorandum of Association. They accept the memorandum as a charter of incorporation, and so accepting it, the articles proceed to define the duties, rights and powers of the governing body as between themselves and the company, and the mode and the form in which business of the company is to be carried on, and the mode and form in which changes in the internal regulation of the company may from time to time be made. So basically, like I said, the Memorandum of Association deals with the external relation of the company, and the Articles of Association deals with the internal affairs or the internal rules and regulations. The relationship between the governing body and the company and the others is all defined by the Articles of Association. Please take a minute, go through this. Any questions, please ask. Any questions, please ask. Any questions? Please take a minute. Okay, let's go. Now, let's look at the following are the key differences between the memorandum and articles of association. First one, the objectives. The memorandum of association defines and delimits the objective of the company, whereas the articles of association lays down the rules and regulations for the internal management of the company. Articles determine how the objectives of the company are to be achieved. Okay, so like I told you, hi Avinav, how are you? Okay, so like I told you, a memorandum is an external document. The articles of association is an internal document. Memorandum gives the external relationship, external activities. Articles of association defines the internal relationship of the company. Relationship. The memorandum defines the relation of the company with the outside world, like I told you, external, and the articles define the relationship between the company and its members. Okay, how are members elected, appointed, resignation of directors, transfer of shares, holding of board meeting, quorums, passing of resolutions, all those internal registrations, everything, internal matters, regulations are contained in the articles of association. Alteration. Memorandum of association can be altered only under certain circumstances and in the manner prescribed in the Act. In most cases, permission of the regional director RD or the tribunal is required whenever you want to alter your memorandum of association. The articles can be altered simply by passing a special resolution. Okay, so no approval of the RD or tribunal is required, and the articles can be altered simply by passing a special resolution. So that is the difference between articles of association and a memorandum of association. Please take a minute, go through this slide. Any questions, please ask me, and then we proceed. Any questions, please ask. Okay, let me know once you're done. Are we done? Okay, any questions? Please ask me. Take about 30 seconds more. Okay, let's proceed. Now, let's start off with the doctrine of ultra vires. Now that we know what an articles of association is and what a memorandum of association is, let's quickly go through the doctrine of ultra vires. Okay, it was basically a recap of what a memorandum and article is, and then you will understand what you mean by ultra vires. Okay, let's start off. Meaning, the meaning of the term ultra vires simply means beyond powers. The legal phrase is ultra vires is applicable only to acts done in excess of the legal powers of the doers. So if any person has been given a certain power, and if he goes beyond that power and does anything, it is known as ultra vires the power. Okay, so that is what the exact meaning of the word means. Okay, this presupposes that the power in their nature are limited. It is a fundamental rule of the company law that the objects of a company, as stated in its memorandum, can be departed from only to the extent permitted by the Act. That means whatever objectives is mentioned in the memorandum, you can only carry out that and you cannot depart or deviate from that. In consequence, any act done or a contract made by a company which travels beyond the powers not only of the directors but also of the company is wholly void and is inoperative in law and is therefore not binding on the company. So if any activity is carried on by the company which is not permitted by its articles of Memorandum of Association, that entire activity is void and not valid whatsoever. Okay, it's not binding on the company. On this account, a company can be restrained from employing its fund for the purposes other than those sanctioned by the memorandum. So a company can also be stopped from using its funds for activities other than those mentioned in the Memorandum of Association. Likewise, it can be restrained from carrying on a trade different from the one it is authorized to do so and carry on. Okay, so if it's carrying on any activity that it is not permitted to carry as per the Memorandum of Association, the company can be stopped from carrying that on. Please take a minute to go through this. Any questions? Please ask. This is the introduction to doctrine of ultra vires. Okay, please take about a minute more. Any questions? Please ask me. Any questions? Please ask. Are we done? Let me know once you're done, please. Okay, let's proceed. Now, introduction. What do you mean by, again, doctrine of ultra vires? Companies have to borrow funds from time to time for various projects in which they are engaged. Okay, borrowing is an indispensable part of day-to-day transactions of a company, and no company can be imagined to run without borrowing from time to time. So, borrowing funds for a company is very important, as to day-to-day operations run on borrowing funds. And basically, it's unimaginable that a company does not borrow funds in order to run. Okay. Third, balance sheets are released every year by the companies, and you will hardly find any balance sheet without borrowings and liabilities clause of it. So basically, this is just a comparison that every year the company by March 31st prepares its balance sheet, and in none of the balance sheets you will ever see that the company does not have borrowings in the liability clause of it. So basically every company, whether private or public limited company, requires some kind of borrowings or not if it wants to make itself big. If it's a small company and it wants to remain there itself, then maybe it does not require borrowings. But otherwise, if it wants to make it big, it requires borrowings. All right. Then, however, there are certain restrictions while making such borrowings. If companies go beyond their powers to borrow, then such borrowings may be deemed to be ultra wires. Okay. So now this is just an example to teach you, to explain to you what you mean by ultra wires. So basically, if the company borrows going beyond its powers, if the company does not have powers to borrow money as per the Memorandum of Association, but the company still goes ahead and borrows a certain sum of money, then such borrowings may be deemed to be ultra vires the memorandum of the company. So basically, if you see any memorandum of association of any company, it will be mentioned borrow funds from banks or financial institutions for the purpose of attainment of the main objectives of the company. So if that clause is not mentioned, the company cannot borrow funds. All right, you got it? Please take a minute, go through this. This is just an example to explain to you what it means. Okay, please take a minute, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions whatsoever, please ask. Any questions? Let me know once you're done, please. Please read it. Any questions you have, please ask me. Also, let me know once you're done, and then we will proceed. We are talking about ultra wires, doctrine of ultra wires. Are we done? Let me know once you're done, please. Let me know, just take about 30 seconds more, go through this. Let me know once you're done. Okay, now let's look at the meaning of ultra wires. It is a Latin term made up of two words, ultra, which means beyond, and wires meaning power or authority. So ultra wires means beyond one's power or authority. So we can say that anything which is beyond the authority or power is called ultra wires. Yes, anything which is beyond the authority or power of anything is called ultra wires. Let's say, for example, if let's take for me an example. Now I am here as an educator. I'm teaching you on the CA foundation and intermediate examinations. But today if I get very excited and say, it's okay, I will even give you the questions. I will help you with the questions, and whatever questions I give you, only those will come in the examination. Please remember that is rubbish. I know nothing about the questions, but then I am trying to act ultra wires, my powers. That means I don't have those powers, but I'm just trying to act beyond my powers. And all those activities are absolutely void or null. Okay, so that's an example. So I'm an educator here and I have nothing. I have no control on the papers, nothing, but somehow I make such big statements. I'm giving an example that, I'll give you questions that will come, just study those and all that. That means I'm acting beyond or beyond my powers, or ultra wires my powers. Okay, please take a minute, go through this slide. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions? So So ultra vires in general means beyond one's power or authority. All right. Are we done? Okay, let's go to the next one. Now let's look at the doctrine of ultra vires. Memorandum of Association is considered as the constitution of the company. We already discussed what a memorandum of association means, right? It gives you the details about the objectives and activities that the company intends to perform, and also all the ancillary activities that will support the main activities of the company. And we also discussed the 6 clauses of the memorandum of association, but the most important clause out of those was the object clause. Okay, so memorandum of association is considered as a constitution of the company. It sets out the internal and external scope and areas of the company's operations along with objectives, power and scope. So basically whatever activities the company intends to perform, like I said, are mentioned in the memorandum of association, and only those activities the company is allowed to perform. It cannot go beyond that and perform any other activity. A company is authorized to do only that much which is within the scope of the powers provided in the memorandum. So if a company says in the memorandum that it shall manufacture and trade in furniture, then it can only carry on that activity. It cannot carry on the activity of trading in computers, trading in textiles, providing services, providing this thing. No, it has to do only manufacturing and trading of furniture. So when you're preparing a memorandum of association, a person needs to be very careful as to include the objectives that define the name and the scope of the company. Okay, a company can also do anything which is incidental to the main objectives provided by the memorandum. Anything which is beyond the objects authorized by the memorandum is an ultra vires fact. Okay, act. So let's say the company is into manufacturing and trading of furniture. Okay, now this is the main activity. Now what do you mean by incidental? So for incidental, now the company can borrow, right? The company can open branches. The company can set up subsidiaries, and basically these are the incidental activities that the company can perform for the main activity, that is trading, manufacturing and trading of furniture. The company can buy material from vendors, can set up foreign subsidiaries. So all these are various secondary and incidental activities that are incidental to the main objects of the company, that is manufacturing and trading of furniture. So if the company does any activity beyond this, suddenly if it starts trading in computers, or suddenly if it starts trading in clothes, or suddenly if it starts trading in electronics, that is an act which is ultra vires the memorandum of association and is absolutely invalid. All right, please take 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. This is the doctrine of ultra vires. Okay, please go through this and then we go on to the next slide. Take 2 minutes. Any questions, please ask me. Take about a minute more. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask. Okay. Difference between ultra vires act and an illegal act. Okay, just for your understanding, let's discuss the difference between an ultra vires act and an illegal act. An ultra vires act is entirely different from an illegal act. People often mistakenly use them as synonym to each other while they are not. So people often use it interchangeably, that illegal act and ultra vires act is the same. But ultra vires simply means beyond the powers. It does not necessarily make it illegal. Okay. An illegal act is definitely ultra vires, but an ultra vires act is not necessarily illegal all the time. Okay, that's the difference. Anything which is beyond the objectives of a company as specified in the memorandum of the company is ultra vires. However, anything which is an offense or draws civil liabilities or is prohibited by the law is illegal. Anything which is ultra vires may or may not be illegal, but both of such acts are void ab initio. Okay, so anything which is an offense, civil offense or criminal offense, is a illegal act. And like I said, an illegal act is always an ultra vires act, but an ultra vires act is not always an illegal act. There is a lot of difference. Okay, please take 2 minutes, go through this. Okay, please take 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask. This is for your general understanding. Any questions, please ask. Take about 30 seconds more. Any questions, please ask me. Let me know once you're done. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Now, let's talk about the provisions that are contained in the Companies Act 2013 in relation to ultra vires. Okay, Section 4(1)(c) of the Companies Act 2013 states that all the objects for which the incorporation of the company is proposed, any other matter which is considered necessary in its furtherance, should be stated in the Memorandum of Association of the company. So, Section 4(1)(c) of the Companies Act 2013 simply states that the main objects of the company, as well as all the incidental activities that the company intends to perform, all of them should be mentioned in the stated in the Memorandum of Association of the company. Whereas Section 245(1)(b) of the Act provides to the members and depositors a right to file an application before the tribunal if they have reason to believe that the conduct of the affairs of the company is conducted in a manner which is prejudicial to the interests of the company or its members or depositors, to restrain the company from committing anything which can be considered as a breach of the provisions of the Memorandum of Articles of Association. Memorandum of Association. Okay, so Section 245(1)(b) of the Act provides that to the members and depositors a right to file an application before the tribunal if they have a right to believe that the conduct of affairs of the company is conducted in a manner which is prejudicial to the interests of the company. So if any act is being carried on which is not good for the company or which is prejudicial to the interest of the company, the members and depositors can file an application with the tribunal to restrain the company from doing such an act which is beyond the powers as contained in the memorandum or articles. Alright, please take 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Please take 2 minutes. Any questions, please ask. Take about a minute more. Carefully go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Let me know once you're done. Okay, let's proceed. Basic principles regarding the doctrine. This is an important slide. Okay, please pay attention. Basic principles regarding the doctrine. Shareholders cannot ratify an ultra-wise transaction or act even if they wish to do so. Okay, this is an important thing. Now let's say the Memorandum of Association asked the company to carry out only trading and manufacturing of furniture. But the company went on and carried on the business of import and export of laptops. So that becomes an act ultra-wise, the Memorandum of the Association, and it's completely void and nullified. Even later on when the shareholders get to know of such an act, the shareholders might say, okay, no problem, we allow the company to do it, let's hold a shareholder meeting and let's ratify or approve the transaction. No, the shareholders also cannot approve a transaction that is ultra-wise, the Memorandum of Association. Okay, so it is completely void and nullified. Where one party has entirely performed his part of the contract, reliance on the defense of ultra-wise was usually precluded in the doctrine of estoppel. Okay, now where one of the parties, where such a transaction has happened, where the company was not allowed to do the act and the other person did not know that and he entered into a contract with the company, and where one party performed his part of the contract, reliance on the defense of ultra-wise was usually precluded in the contract of estoppel. Normally what the company can say, the company can always say doctrine of ultra-wise that the company was not allowed to do it, but still they did it, so the transaction is void and cancelled, and so they will not pay that person. But normally on the basis of justice and equity, that is not done, whereas the other person needs to have constructive notice of the articles and memorandum. Okay, and if he can prove that he has reasonable reasons to believe that the company was allowed to do that, then he can get away with it. Otherwise, a transaction that is ultra-wise, the Memorandum of the Association, Memorandum of Association of the company is completely void. Where both the parties have entirely performed the contract, then it cannot be attacked on the basis of this doctrine. So like the previous thing says that where one party is performed his part of the contract, the other party can take the defense of ultra-wise, but when both the parties have performed their contracts, okay, that the company also has performed his obligation, the other party also has performed his obligation, then you cannot use the defense of concept of ultra-wise and take a refund of your money or take a refund of the goods. Okay, the transaction is completed. Any of the parties can raise defense in ultra-wise. Ultra-wise, that means either the company or the person contracting with the company. Either of the persons can raise the defense of ultra-wise. Okay, it's not necessary that only the company has to do or only the person dealing with the company has to do. Any of the persons can do it. If a contract has been partially performed but the performance was insufficient to bring the doctrine of estoppel into action, a suit can be brought for recovery of the benefits conferred. Okay, so if a person has entered into an ultra-wise transaction and if the contract has been partially performed but the performance was insufficient to bring the doctrine of estoppel into action, a suit can be brought for recovery of the benefits conferred. That means whatever benefits the company has got the person dealing with the company can file a suit to recover those benefits from the company. This is the case when the contract has been partially performed by someone. Okay, if an agent of the corporation commits any default or tort within the scope of his employment, the company cannot defend it from its consequences by saying that the act was ultra vires. So, if a particular act or agent of the company, or agent of a corporation commits any default or tort within the scope of his employment, okay, that means if there is any agent or employee who commits a civil wrong, then the company cannot defend it from its consequences by saying that the act is ultra vires. Please take a minute, go through this. Any questions? Please ask me. Please take a minute. Any questions? Please ask me. Any questions? Please ask. Let me know once you're done, please. Any questions? Please ask me. Okay, exceptions to the doctrine. So even the doctrine of ultra vires has certain exceptions. Let's quickly look through those exceptions. Any act which is done irregularly but otherwise is intra vires, the company can be validated by the shareholders of the company by giving the consent. So if any act which is actually wrong beyond the powers, but it is intra vires the company, intra vires the memorandum of the company, means within the powers conferred by the Memorandum of Association, then such an act can be validated by the shareholders and ratified by the company by giving their consent in a shareholder meeting. Okay, any act which is outside the authority of the directors of the company but otherwise is intra vires the company can be ratified. So even the directors have certain powers. So let's say the directors have gone beyond their powers and done certain activity, but that activity is within the powers given by the Memorandum of Association, then such an act can be ratified by the shareholders in a general meeting and can be regularized. If the company acquires property in a manner which is ultra vires of the contract, the right of the company over such property will still be secured. So in case the company acquires a property which by means which are beyond the contract, ultra vires of the contract, not the powers of the company but the contract, the right of the company over such property will still be secured. Okay, please remember we are discussing the exceptions to the doctrine of ultra vires. Any incidental or consequential effect of the ultra vires act will not be invalid unless the Companies Act expressly prohibits it. Okay, so any incidental or consequential effect of the ultra vires act will not be invalid unless the Companies Act expressly prohibits it. If any act is deemed to be within the authority of the company by the Companies Act, then they will not be considered as ultra vires even if they are not expressly stated in the Memorandum of Association. Articles of association can be altered with retrospective effect to validate an act which is ultra vires of the articles. Okay, so if any act is ultra vires the articles, such an act can be ratified or regularized by the shareholders. But if any act is deemed to be within the authority of the company by the Companies Act, then they will not be considered as ultra vires even if they are not expressly stated in the memorandum. So if any activity is deemed to be within the authority of the Companies Act 2013, then they will not be then they will not be considered as ultra vires even if they are not expressly stated in the memorandum. So here are a few exceptions to the doctrine of ultra vires. Please take about 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask. Any questions, please ask me. Okay, if you have no questions, let's go through an example. Example, if you have supplied goods or performed services on such a contract or lent money, you cannot obtain payment or recover the money lent. But if the money advanced to the company has not been expended, so let's say the company does not have in its Memorandum of Association any clause that it can supply goods or perform services like lending money, but still you cannot obtain payment, but still if someone has not read the memorandum but supplied goods to the company or lent money to the company, then but if the money advanced to the company has not been spent, the lender may stop the company from parting with it. So basically, if the company has not yet spent the money, because please remember, if any activity is done beyond the memorandum, it's void, you cannot recover the money. So if someone has lent money to the company without reading the memorandum and that act was void or ultra vires, and the company has spent the money, then there's no way he can get the money. But if the company still has the money, then the person can approach the court and file an injunction telling the company to stop spending that money. Okay, this is because the company does not become the owner of the money, which is ultra vires of the company. As the lender remains the owner, he can take back the property in specie. If the ultra vires loan has been utilized, so if any person has given a loan to the company and that loan has been utilized in meeting lawful debts of the company, then the lender steps into the shoes of the debtor, paid off, and consequently he would be entitled to recover his loan to that extent from the company. Alright, so this is an example of a transaction that is ultra vires the company. Please take 30 seconds, go through this. Okay, and with that we end the session today. So thank you so much. Let's crack CA exams with Unacademy, India's largest online learning platform that gives you a world of courses, resources, content, live and recorded sessions to help you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. And please do not forget to use the code Prathik, Prathik, while making the payment or subscribing to the Plus platform of Unacademy to get an instant discount of 10% on the listed price. Okay, so thank you so much for being a wonderful audience, and my next session, YouTube session, is starting 10 minutes from now at 10 p.m. on revision test papers May 2019. So I request all of you to come back for that. Okay, thank you so much, and I will see you in 10 minutes.